And tonight, you guys started, well, not again, but you guys started off kind of slow, but then you came back in the third quarter, which has been kind of a pattern that you guys have been doing lately. What is going on in the locker room that gets that gets everybody back focused?
We basically just, come back together, collectively take a deep breath, reflect on what we did well in the first half, and a lot of times it's just us not executing the game plan, so you kind of put the pressure back on them to hold themselves accountable. Obviously we got off to a relatively slow start, but we didn't execute the things that we said we were going to execute in shoot-around or in film leading up to the game, so I wasn't going to bail the guys out. I want them to become better professionals, and being able to do that is carrying things from the film room onto the court and from the scouting report to the court.
This series against Maine has been pretty interesting. One was overtime, two kind of the same start. How's it been to play against this team?
They're very well coached, and they're a very unique team. They've got a lot of guys that shoot the three ball really, really well. And for us, defensively, they're trouble, and just kind of like what the Houston Rockets and Golden State Warriors do. They've got a lot of guys that can make shots from the perimeter, so when you do that, it stretches out your defense a little bit, and they've got a really good player in PJ Dozier that does a good job of setting the table for his teammates.
When you have someone that hot, is it a situation where you're calling a lot of plays for him? Do the players just feel it out there and feed him the ball? How does that work? Because he got plenty of touches tonight.
Yeah, I wish I could take credit for that, but Jordan McRae is a leader. He's a leader of this team. He's developed his leadership style, his communication skills. So he does a really good job of just bringing that NBA veteran, that championship caliber mentality to the team. So when he's out there, sometimes he's calling his own play, but it might be to get a teammate involved. That's something that he's been doing for a number of weeks, basically since we had a little win streak going. He's stepped up his leadership and his accountability. So it's not necessarily anything that we're doing by design. He's calling things within the package, and that's one of the things I want our players to continue to do, is develop their IQ. I don't want to be the one that has to micromanage every possession. I want those guys to have a feel for the game, so when they get to the next level, they feel like they're even more prepared.
Outside of the first quarter, were you pretty pleased with what you did defensively?
I was. We, for the most part, I was. We let some hot shooters squeeze off some threes without having a hand up, without getting them off the line. So aside from a few of those mistakes, I thought our effort and our intensity was there for the 3 quarters.
And piggybacking off of those threes, they made a lot early in the quarter. What did they adjust to what you said, or was it on their own?
It was more so us. I thought, like I said, we didn't really execute the game plan in terms of not letting those guys get so comfortable. And it starts with ball pressure. It starts with the person that's on the basketball. And like I said before, PJ Dozier is really good at getting to the paint and finding the weak side. So if we kind of eliminate him being able to get to the paint and eliminate his vision, it kind of helped us in the second half.
One thing that stood out about Jordan, even though he's got all the points late in the game, he was still passing to his teammates. It didn't seem like a lot was forced, and for a guy who not only scoring that much, you're looking at 50. But obviously, he's got a two-way guy who's that close to not go for. What does that sort of say about his mentality out there on the court?
He's changed. He's done a great job of just staying with his development on and off the court. He, like I said, he speaks up in ATOs and timeouts. He speaks up in the locker room at halftime. He's our leader. So for him to continue to play the right way, everybody else just falls in line. So for him to be able to come down and do what he does offensively, but still want to get the ball to the open man, it's a ton of respect for him, and it garners a lot of respect from his teammates.
I know your job is to coach this team, but obviously part of it is to help all these guys develop in general. For him, in terms of that next step, what's that thing when you score 54? Clearly, offensive seems like it's working. What's the next step for him?
For him, I think it's just about his mentality. When he's thrown into a game at the next level, still being able to function, without getting the ball every possession, just being a floor spacer and continuing to play defense. He's taking the initiative in some games to become the best defender on the team. So I think every team wants somebody who wants to take that initiative to become a lockdown defender.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it.